Welcome everyone to Danver's Asylum, or also the Ryder Asylum, as it's also called. We are here today to check out this region. It's actually been in my landmarks for a very long time, and we'll go ahead and grab the note card here while I talk about some more. And, I think this is the oldest landmark that isn't a repeat of a place that I have in my set, and I kept on coming here at times and mulling over whether or not to record a video on the place, or I just simply forgot about it. But recently, I had mostly been going over the old weird U.S., weird New Jersey books and website, and one of the things they had was about a specifically weird NJ, and they had a segment on it about a old mountain sanatorium. There was a whole website dedicated to it, and it kind of sparked my interest back in this place. So I figured I'm gonna finally cover it over. And from the note card back there, it said the place has been up since 2007, and it's supposed to be a memorial or replica of a state asylum, and supposed to have a community about it. I don't know how that's been working out for it since that time, because it's almost 10 years old at this point, but the place has been up all the time I've looked at it, so. And there does seem to be a community here of some sort. There's always people here when I'm here, and we're going to go ahead and check out the buildings and everything whatnot here. Now, I imagine a lot of these buildings and what they look like from the outside is that they're going to be somewhat empty, and I think that's kind of the point, in that it's supposed to be like old ruinous buildings and whatnot, because most of the sanatoriums, the asylums and whatnot, they're mostly just sitting around, usually like off in the distance somewhere next to a city or a town. They're old like tuberculosis hospitals and whatnot, so they weren't made to be very close to anything because that stuff's contagious. So and I'd highly recommend, if you have any sort of interest in seeing some of the old medical history of what used to go on during, like, the point of time where tuberculosis and things like that there was no way to really treat them, then you might be interested in looking up how some of these hospitals were. Of course, also, these were also usually places for people that were mentally ill, usually people with schizophrenia or pretty much a lot of things back then. They didn't really have a very good idea of how to differentiate things. So, I don't know, you might have had people that were extremely schizophrenic with people that were simply bipolar or something in there. And I have no idea how much of this stuff is actually realistic to how the place used to look. As I said, the place has been around for almost 10 years, according to that note card. Started in 2007, so I have no idea if the community here has added more stuff on or anything along those lines since then. And I guess this building we're in right near here is actually the vendor building for whatever they like to put up here. And on the other side of the coin, for these sort of places, there are also usually big highlights for urban exploration and things like that. Like I said, a lot of them are gone now, but the ones that are left over are usually, people usually will take a camera and go inside and explore, and they'll upload it to YouTube or something like that, and you can look up urban exploration, asylums, and you could probably find like hundreds of videos on the topic. In general, though, there's not a lot of stuff in Second Life that's meant to be just like ruins, though. Like outside of maybe like a forest ruin or something like that, but urban ruins, usually I don't see that much. I know there used to be a place a long time ago that was like this huge, I think like half parcel of like a school that was all run down. It was just sitting in the mainland that I saw, and I quite clearly remember it. I think it was like Von Cellar School or something along those lines. But I imagine most of the time people don't want unless you have like a community thing like here, people don't usually just want to make like a ruin building and leave it there and pay, I don't know, $100 a month or a week to have it sit there. And I imagine these are pictures of what the place looked like for real, the Danver State Asylum. And I think there's like a sandbox over there, and there's a couple people over there. Like I said, there's people. Every time I come here, there's usually at least one person, usually more than that here. But we're gonna go ahead and leave them alone. We'll go ahead and check out this park over here. Okay. And this looks like it's a memorial to people that were part of the community at some point, maybe. Huh. All of these are just a bit out of my time when I was here. I started in 2008. Okay. In any case, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go ahead and circle around the region like we have been doing, and then check out the buildings over there, particularly last, I think. There's also a bit more that I'll talk about when we get to it later. And this is like the community sitting area or something like that. Just plenty of random stuff laying around. This is usually the spot I see people at when I would pop in here every once in a while. We got an old water tower up here, and a little bench over here. But the water tower, I think, Like, every time I look up one of these asylum places or whatever, there's always a water tower. Looks like the ladder's broken. Whatever's over here has a billboard. A laundromat. Ooh. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot in here. It actually is just like a laundromat, I guess. And I think we're getting towards where most of the cluster of buildings are over here, so we're going to go ahead and just take our time and look through them. Some of them, just from looking on the outside, don't look like they actually have much in them. As I think some of these buildings, if not all of them, are supposed to be like apartments for people to hang out at. And down here, which I actually discovered the last time I was here, that's that there is a whole underground segment to this region. Which I thought was a really nice touch, because this underground segment's not just like over under this building, but it actually connects to most of the buildings in the region. Alright. Which, out of everything in this region, I like this underground segment the most, because it really does give the feel of, like going through ruinous tunnels or something along those lines. And I guess there's a couple private rooms down here as well, which we'll keep away from if we can. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between what's private and what's public, but that definitely said to stay out, so I'm gonna do just that. Like, this room, I have no idea what's going on in here. That's a private room. This looks like it's just like a cell or something. And that probably leads upwards to the top of one of the buildings. Actually, we might, well, actually, no, I think we'll keep on going this way. Guess we'll just head left for now. And I think this is going to lead us back up to the surface again. So let's see where we ended up at. We ended up over by the factory, so it's very easy not even to see these entrances. The only one that's really noticeable is that one we started in. But yeah, let's go ahead and... I know there's still a bit left of the underground segment. Let's go ahead and check out these buildings up here first, because I think these aren't going to be too long of a look. Like this one right here looks like it's just pretty much a apartments for rent, so there's nothing really going on in here. And here it looks like there's a bit more going on in here. Which makes sense, because this is probably going to be the first building somebody walks into when you get on the region. This looks like an auditorium where you probably come and watch movies. Something up here. It looks like the sides are more apartment for rent stuff. Because I think this place is actually the size of like 3 buildings from the outside. Because I think those 3 buildings all together were all connected. And is this a private room? I can't... Okay. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to assume this is a private room and leave. I think the only way out is actually through here again. Yeah, over here. See what's over here on the left wing side. This might actually be, yeah, I think this is actually, yeah. Okay, I think since we're outside I can explain this better, is that this, like, whole building right here is where the auditorium is, but these two buildings on the side are connected by a corridor, so the two on the side are basically apartments, and the middle building's supposed to be, I guess, an auditorium or something like that. Let's get a view of the tops of the buildings. Sure, we'll peek down here, because I don't think I remember seeing a staircase in the center area. Can barely make that out. This looks like it would just be a washroom or something like that. I guess we'll just keep on going downward and seeing where it goes. Actually, this looks like it might be the, Okay, so there's only a little bit left now. Basically these two buildings over here, which I've never really looked at these buildings that much, to be honest, because this one right off the bat looks like it's completely empty. There's nothing going on in here at all. And this one I think only has an entrance through the warp pipe down here, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Got an elevator here. Oh, while that's coming down, we'll go ahead and check out these rooms right here. Looks like they're all empty. Check these two around down the corridor. There's something in here. This looks like another building that has something going on, but isn't quite filled out yet, maybe. This elevator is not functioning. Alright, well I think that's everything on the surface that they have here, so I think we'll go ahead and look at whatever's down the other tunnel in the underground area. I remember we came to a split and I went left, but we're gonna go check out and see what would have led us to the right side of that. Which it may have been just another exit, but I just want to give myself an excuse to go back down there. What? I think this is... Yeah, no, that's the way we came from before. This was where the split was. And we went left here, so now we have to go right. The morgue. And down here is another elevator. This actually might be... Yeah, just look at this spot. This looks like the underground portion of where we just were. Like, I guess that elevator may have been where we were supposed to go if it was functional, and we were supposed to head down here, but... Yeah, it's not working on this side either, so I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be the up and down. So this would be the bottom floor. Okay. Well, let's check out the morgue then. I don't remember seeing this before, so... Well, there's definitely some stuff down here. I did forget to mention, I think, that this had a bit of a... supposed to have like a bit of a roleplay community around it as well. So maybe this is supposed to be like one of the roleplay areas, perhaps, or something along those lines. And there's another elevator right here. Huh. I can't think of where this one would go, though. And we have what looks like a room over here, but I think it might be blocked off. So I think there was like... Yeah, there's stuff in front of here. So I guess we'll just zoom in here for a moment. And I guess this would be like the operating medical bay or whatever. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, so this was Danver Asylum, as I think I found just about everything here. And it was a pretty nice, neat little place to explore. It's a bit different from what I usually go to, because the whole point of it's being supposed to be like a memorial sort of thing. And I'll see you guys in the next video, so... See you then.